The night sky over Washington, D.C. was ripped apart by tragedy. On January 29, 2025, an American Airlines jet, Flight 5342, collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. The collision occurred over the Potomac River. Both aircraft were destroyed. 67 souls were lost in the fiery crash. The American Airlines jet was on its final approach to Reagan National Airport. It was traveling from Wichita, Kansas. The U.S. Army helicopter was on a routine training mission. The helicopter was equipped for night vision exercises. The two aircraft intersected in the skies just before 10 p.m. The collision sent shockwaves across the nation. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of life. The crash was a devastating blow to the families and friends of those on board. The nation joined them in mourning. The immediate aftermath was a blur of activity. Emergency responders rushed to the scene. The Coast Guard, police, and fire departments worked tirelessly. The focus quickly shifted from rescue to recovery. The cold, dark waters of the Potomac River hampered their efforts. Divers searched for survivors. Sadly, none were found. President Trump addressed the nation the next morning. He expressed his deep sorrow. The president vowed a full investigation into the cause of the crash. Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao echoed the president's sentiments. She emphasized the need to determine what went wrong. The goal was to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. American Airlines CEO Robert Isom offered his condolences to the families. He pledged full cooperation with the investigation. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, took the lead. The Federal Aviation Administration and other agencies pledged their support. The investigation would be long and complex. Among the victims were world-renowned figure skaters Evgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov. The pair were returning from the U.S. Figure Skating Championships. They had been coaching young skaters in Wichita. Their loss sent shockwaves through the skating world. Tributes poured in from fellow athletes and fans worldwide. The crash also claimed the lives of families returning home from vacations. Business travelers were on their way to important meetings. Each life lost represented a unique story. Each loss left a void in the hearts of loved ones. The community of Wichita, Kansas was hit particularly hard. Many of the passengers on the American Airlines flight were from the area. Vigils were held in churches and community centers. People gathered to grieve and support one another. The outpouring of support was a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. The investigation into the crash is ongoing. The NTSB is examining every aspect of the tragedy. They are analyzing air traffic control recordings. They are looking at weather data and the aircraft's maintenance records. The investigation will take time. It is a painstaking process to piece together the events that led to this tragedy. This tragedy has raised questions about airspace safety around Washington, D.C. Some experts are calling for increased safety measures. They want to prevent similar incidents in the future. The investigation's findings could lead to changes in aviation regulations and procedures. The road ahead will be long and difficult for the families of the victims. The healing process will take time. The support of the community will be crucial in helping them cope with their loss. As the nation mourns this tragedy, we remember the victims and their families. We honor the first responders who worked tirelessly in the aftermath of the crash, and we await the answers that will come from the investigation. Our hope is that this tragedy will lead to changes that will prevent such a devastating loss of life in the future.